2 of converting Latterly.io to a T3 app. Latterly.io, the current production app, is a Blitz.js app. This is a website that helps you land your first or next programming role. It's also a social community. It's not just a learn to code course. It includes learning to code, but it does a whole lot more about landing the job. That's one of the big differentiators here. So I'm not logged in. But anyway, if you log in, you get free access to the standard checklist, and there's a bunch of items about how to social network and land the job, which is a big difference, a big gap in a lot of coding boot camps. They won't actually succeed at career services. So career services being weak is common both in boot camps and university, let alone ordinary online courses. Okay. Motivation for T3 app conversion, and you can check the GitHub issue, which is going to be in the YouTube video description. This is part 2, more context in part 1, but the short version is social sign-in is really difficult in the Blitz version that I've been using with the app router. So in the previous stream, we converted the app to a monorepo and installed T3. In this stream, I want to get to the point where we can log in. And that's going to be the full context of this stream. And then in later streams, we will iteratively move files over to have the UI match. This UI in front of us doesn't look anything like the actual Latterly UI does it. And it's missing a whole bunch of features. It's missing everything, basically. So the current stream, we're just getting the social sign-in to work. Thank you so much for the likes. Polar Willie, thanks for being here. All right, let's dive in. The main blocker to social sign-in currently is that the Postgres database is not connected. So here you see I have the legacy Blitz app, and then I have the new Latterly.io folder, which is the T3 app. Here I can go to the Prisma schema, double-clicking here, and I'm going to Command P, ladder. So let's connect this schema first. Postgres is already provided here. That's good. So if I connect this to the database, I will get an error because the schema is out of sync. So I need to update the schema immediately. So I'm going to Command P, Latterly, Blitz, and I'm fuzzy typing here. And then I'm going to type schema. So you see in VS Code, we can do the search across file names with fuzzy match. All right, so I'm going to Command ACS to grab all of the content onto my clipboard. I guess I didn't need S, did I? Sorry, don't know why I did that. And then here, AVS. I'm looking at the diff to compare. The data source line, okay, we can reduce the diff noise slightly by changing the order. That's fine. All for that. When using MySQL, we'll delete that bit. We're not using MySQL. This divider line, the left hand has a post entity. It does not have a user entity. There's a post account session, and the session is going to have a user, and then here's the user model down here. So yeah, changing order could help minimize noise and get rid of this dividing line. I guess that's not really necessary. So this is good. This is good. I'm noticing that we need the post from T3. We need the post from T3. I think this is meant to be like a blog post or something. I don't know what this post is, to be honest. Is it used anywhere else? It's on the user model, right? So maybe the better thing to do will be to bring in the T3 model to the Blitz app, migrate, and then come over in a second step. Here's the verification token. I'm going to try to just do this all right now. And if it fails, we'll do the other idea where we start by updating Blitz. So for now, I'll accept this seemingly unnecessary post entity. So I'm just copying all of the T3 entities. We'll do another divider line here. And then I want to deduplicate them. So session should already have a session token. I don't know that it's a string type though. So there's session token versus hashed session token. What are you doing, Ellie?
Getting back in my room.
All right.
But I just got one.
The ID is different as well, which is not ideal. So that's a source of incompatibility. Here's an auto increment. So the existing model uses auto increment, and the new model is using CUID. I don't know what the CUID thing does. CUID versus auto increment. Does T3 have next auth built into it? Yes, when you set up T3, you can automatically integrate next auth. I haven't seen Stack Overflow in a while. I've been using ChatGPT. Yeah, I use them both. I often reach for GPT first, but not always. I'm not really sure why. I don't really have a hard rule there. First time seeing T3 looks great. Yeah, it's awesome. So this post entity I can just bring over. This account entity I can just bring over. And really, I don't need this. I don't need this model in the long run, but for now I do. So what I would like to try is merging this stuff. So here's the verification token. That's just all by itself. Okay. So the user and the session are the two conflicted models. Let's cut these guys. And go to the user. So I'm going to try to maintain this original one and just add in the bits that I need. Email being optional, I'm not crazy about that. So email verified, we'll add that. Image, okay. Here's the image. Accounts, sessions, posts. Okay, and then we'll format it. So that theoretically resolves the user discrepancy. We'll see if it works. And it's dawning on me now that this could like wreck my whole database. Yikes. So how do I back up my database? I'll have to think about that separately. I might spin up a new database for this. Okay, so sessions are already connected. On delete cascade. That's interesting. Prisma docs are the best. I thought they were fine. I've definitely run into issues that weren't covered. Model session. Okay. So the user bit, we're adding a cascade for T3. I think that's going to be okay. The session token expires. Session token expires at versus expires. And the user ID will already be here as an int. I'm going to go ahead and mark some of these T3. Because it does beg the question, why do I have expires and expires at? The reason is because one of them is from T3. Be a real man and do systems programming. No thanks. I feel like something else came from T3. I'm not sure what it was. Okay. All right. So let's see. On another tab, I'm going to open up Prisma. What are we building? We're trying to do a Blitz.js to T3 migration. So I'm looking at Supabase on my other monitor. I'm trying to see my backups. Yeah, I think I don't have any backups. Enable branching. Database branching is only on the Pro plan. So far, I've gotten away with Supabase free tier, which is pretty cool. All right, do I want to create a new database for this? Have I deleted any columns? I don't think I've deleted any columns, right? So yeah, I don't think I need a new database. Let's go ahead and get rid of this post thing. I'll just go ahead and get rid of it now. Okay. Yeah, I'll try to use the same database. Ooh, this is risky. So let me do a backup. I forget if backup prints email to the screen. So I'm going to run this. Let me show you what I'm doing. So in the Blitz folder, Command P, Blitz, package JSON, I have a backup, which will back up the users, and it backs it up locally. So I'm going to run that basically. I don't care too much if the other data gets lost, but losing my user data is terrible. All right, cool. So it doesn't show any sensitive data. That's good. So backup of 292 users completed. I don't know what's going on with the dogs over there. And checklist got backed up too. I'll ignore that. The checklists are not in a great state, but that doesn't matter too much. Or this is like a fix. Okay. All right. So now let's connect the database. Latterly.io, .env.example. It's just this one. We just have to update that one. And I have it in my other file. So I'm going to go to the real env, the one that's not an example, taking that off screen. Okay. This is Postgres. .env.local. Okay. I was looking in the .env file and it wasn't there. I was like, am I missing it? So here's the database URL in .env.local. And in the T3 app, it's just .env. Do I need to be using port 5432? No, I don't think so. And then the next auth secret. So next auth, let me show you this. So you can generate a new secret on the command line this way. So let's do it. Cool. I'm not going to use that one because you saw it. I'm going to use a different one. But anyway, that's how you can generate this like secret that helps salt the next auth data. All right, so I think, oh, that's the example file. Better not put that there, huh? Okay, so I think the database should be able to connect now. Cool, let's try it. So Blitz, Prisma, Studio, maybe? Let's see if the Studio works. So the Studio came up super fast, like suspiciously fast. I actually wonder if it's just doing some kind of a local thing. Big Daddy says, what's this? What's up, Big Daddy? This is Create T3 app. And we are trying to migrate Latterly.io from the Blitz higher order framework to the T3 stack higher order framework. So this is Latterly.io. Link is in the bio. It helps you learn to code and land your first or next programming role. And I'm trying to implement social auth, and that's been painful in Blitz. So we're checking out T3. All right, Studio works fine. How about, oh, and why did I use Blitz? So how about NPX Prisma Studio? That also worked fine. That also worked fine. Postgres, yep, we're using Postgres. That's a SQL database. So now let me npx Prisma generate. Okay, local generation of types worked fine. So let me npx Prisma, and I'm not using Blitz anymore. npx Prisma migrate dev. See, here's the problem I was worried about. All public data will be lost. Do you want to continue? No, not really. In a cloud. Yeah, we're using the cloud. I mean, we're not using any of the main cloud providers, AWS, whatever. So this is hosted on Vercel and Supabase. Those are still, you could still refer to them as cloud because it's like someone else's computer, basically. So database as a service. So on the user table, we added a unique index on the column email. Okay, this is doing a diff in the T3 database. This is like a, okay. Let me take this over to, so we're gonna bail out. We're gonna cancel that, right? I didn't wipe my database. And I'm going to go to Blitz app. And I'm going to try to update the schema over here and migrate from this side. If this fails, then I will basically have to wipe the database. I backed up my user data. I'll think about if I want to back up other data. I don't think other data is necessary. Maybe the votes. Backing up the votes would be good. Just hide your passwords, bro. Which passwords? All right. So let's see if this works. On the side. These are not my passwords. Those are not real passwords. env, yeah, see, my env.local is not showing up. I'm actually not sure why it's not showing up. That's okay. We can ignore them all anyway. Cool. Thanks for the follow. Okay. What was I doing? This schema, this is the Blitz schema. I'm trying to update this in place, yeah? No, okay. 388, good. So we're growing the schema, that's what's expected. So here's the Blitz diff. We're moving the client statement up, that's fine. Adding accounts, these commented blocks, I'll go ahead and delete those. It's not necessary. And then we add this account entity. Javier, thanks for the follow. And the verification token entity. That's fine. I'll leave it. Okay, so Blitz, Prisma, migrate dev. So the diff here is much smaller. Drift detected, your database schema is not in sync with your migration history. I don't know, he's just doing some object creation right now. Doesn't look important. This is to integrate next auth. So this is for social sign up. Like you see this, migrations can be a pain in the ass. Yep, they can. You see this button right here? You want to sign in with Google? That's what we're trying to do. Okay, so the only thing it's complaining about, added column profile picture. Where is anyone talking about profile picture? Let me look on my database. And it says it's on the user entity. Change the user table, added the column profile picture. Sure enough, okay, it's on the SQL database. I have profile picture. Did I lose it? Profile picture. Yeah, weird. My DB actually got out of sync somehow. How did that happen? Okay, well, the good news is this is pretty easy to address. So I'll copy this and I'll paste it on the... Hi.
I'm going to put out a big bag of all of the bedding because otherwise I'll be doing laundry for days.
Okay.
Would you be able to put the order in once I tell you it's ready?
Sure. So this is the T3 schema. So I'm pasting it over there. And in the meantime, here's the Blitz schema. I'm going to undo this. You must have a deleted table somewhere. No, what happened is I changed branches after migrating on a branch. So I have another code branch that has a column, not a table, just a column that's not accounted for in this code branch. Is T3 the Theo stack? Yep, sure is. Okay, so user table, profile picture, model, user. So this is now in its prior state, according to master, or like the main branch, not according to the sibling feature branch. So the first thing I do is I want to get it in sync with the sibling feature branch. Why is it doing this UI thing? Like, go away. I want to get in sync with the sibling UI branch, and then, okay, it looks better now. I don't know why it was like popping out to the side like that. And then we can update it. But before you update it, make sure you're in sync with the state of the art, right? So this is going to be profile picture, profile HIJL.
Okay.
Cool. Yo, it wants to drop the whole database because of one column. That's actually crazy. Hey, Tina, Ellie's like stomping. One quick question. You got 30 seconds to answer. If shoes cost $100 more than socks, and socks and shoes cost $110, what's the cost of the socks? $5? It's $5, right? That's why I like SQLite for developing. Just spin up and spin down when needed. Yeah, no, we're way past SQLite stage. This is like a production app. This is not just like some kind of starter. You can use a SQLite like before you go to production, but once you're in production, you need to use a production database. Okay, so I will let me check out from the sibling branch. So the sibling, I'll go over to GitHub. Here's this sign up with Google. Damn, what, man? That was so fast. Fast when everyone else, even people answer correctly, aren't that fast. Good job, good job. Thank you, thank you. Thanks to Bigger Quads on Twitch. Love the username, bro. Hey, is T3 the Theo stack? Basically, yes. Is there a dedicated backend API with the T3 stack, or is it all done in Next.js? It's done in Next.js. Next.js has server functions or server actions, which are backend. They are backend. What's T3? It's a stack. It's a higher order framework that wraps Next.js. Okay, so here's the sibling branch. Files changed. We want the Prisma work out of here. So there's yeah, the votables as well, right? ChatGPT is cheating. No way. ChatGPT is great. So here I'm going to git check out the branch, but I'm only going to selectively check out a few files. I'm going to pick the schema.prisma. You can see it adds the profile picture under complaint. Going to grab the migration file. What's your go-to stack? It's T3. It's the one we're using. It used to be Blitz, but if you go back and see the prior video, I explain why I'm not so hot on it anymore. Did not match any files known to Git. Yeah, okay, it's because they're at a different folder level. So I moved up a level and then it worked. ChatGPT can be helpful, but I feel like it can't handle too much complexity. Yeah, 100%. That's 100% the issue. It helps really, really well with small stuff, but with complex stuff, it gets confused. Okay, so this is the sibling branch DB. We're going to push that into the old Blitz app. We'll replace that. Check the git diff over here. No way that it's replacing the whole thing. Okay, let me undo that. I did not mean to drop everything like that. Maybe I should use like the file explorer. I wanted to like add them in, not replace. Okay, so we got these 3 files. I'll just drag them in one by one. That's fine, whatever. I'll call this like DB2. So the purpose was just to get them next to each other in the IDE. So we're replacing the schema file, but that should only change one line. Okay, so it only changed one line here. And then now the migration file, we're bringing over to the DB migrations. We'll bring the whole folder, actually, DB migrations. Okay. So just added one migration, good. And then what do I have left? The votables. DB2 seed utils. Votables. So now I'll delete this temp DB2 folder. And if I stage all of these, I'm seeing only the 3 files, no massive deletes. Great. Here's the little add the column. And then this is a small add CS50 change. Good. This is what I expect. Is Mac best for coding? But I like it a lot. That's what I'll say. I'll like it a lot. It's going to depend on your price point and your goal. If we assume that you're doing software engineering, not anything data science, then all the like NVIDIA GPU stuff is less important. I would pretty much go with yes. Again, unless you're doing like data science or game development or certain like Windows things, then Windows is going to help you. But in general, in general, I think Mac is going to be better. Okay. Before I push that, let me make sure that can't find module Prisma. Okay, let me CD into the Blitz. And I want it to tell me already up to date. Already in sync. Love to see it. Okay, so this is Chore Sync DB. Sync DB. So push that up. I'm on your site. Thank you so much. Have fun. I hope you'll sign up. Hope you'll join the Discord. You can go vote on some stuff on the leaderboard. That will be fun. Read the blog. Check out the checklist for free. Okay. Das ist good. Das ist good. Now let me add the account model in the verification token model. I'll just add all the stuff. Zayman on YouTube. Yo, welcome, welcome. I'm hacking it right now. I can see all your tables. Dope. All right, what is the most recent contribution table primary key ID? Lol JK. Yeah, I thought so. What's the best way to scale these types of apps? Do you containerize? No, I'm not using a container. I'm not using a container. This is run on the Vercel Edge runtime. And that'll scale, so it'll scale up to some limit. If I hit like 1 million monthly active users, I'm gonna need to go over to one of the major cloud providers. That'll be a great problem to have. So go sign up to the website and help contribute to my scaling problems. Why do some people hate Mongo? So I'm not a fan of Mongo. I don't like the dynamic schema. I don't like the difficulty integrating with various tools. Basically, the lack of NoSQL and relational data is a huge pain point. So if I do any sort of data analysis, I have to do extra data cleaning, data wrangling, data munging, because I can't trust that all the fields will be there and they'll have the proper schema, basically. So those are some reasons not to like Mongo. Also, it's closed source. Boo. What about Supabase? I'm literally using Supabase. Supabase is awesome. Supabase is the bee's knees. I'm not sure how that saying came to be, but I think it means a good thing. Okay. I also don't know why these things are green. Green is supposed to indicate there's like a new thing there, but there's not in this folder. I think it's the VS Code DB, the VS Code cache once again. So here is the, let's say, legacy schema in the Blitz side, and here's the new schema. And then I cut these things. Yeah, I'm facing a trade-off. Do I want to immediately move all of them, or do I want to only do a little bit at a time? Let's try to immediately move all of them. And if it fails, we'll fall back to a little bit at a time. Okay, so verification token, nice. It should work. User will come back to it's angry, of course. Account, good to go. So that one, and then so we're back to the two that cause problems. The two that cause problems. So the first thing to do is remove the posts. That's easy. And these fields, so sessions will already be on the user, I think. No? Model user. But it does have, oh, the indentation is different. That's why the Command F didn't find it. Okay, so sessions is already found. My user model already has a name, I think. Let's see, model user. No, I have name, first name, last name. And then here I'll do name. So this is an optional string here. That makes it not optional. Cool. I'll label it T3. Image, which is an optional string. So email verified, image. These three basically. Moving profile picture down with all the profile stuff. LMNOP, profile picture. Image. T3, HI will be after hashed. Meta Horizon takes experience. Not sure what that means. Email verified. T3. Okay. And then accounts is also a T3. But that one I don't even need to mention T3 on that. It is in T3, but it's also for next auth. So I would want it anyway. And I'll drop that down at the bottom of the block where my sort of collections go. Okay, so the formatting's off, but that is merged. Let me briefly comment the session model. Why did commenting the session model irritate that? That's weird. User ID is a string. We're going to make that an int. So now I can Command-Shift-P and format the document. Okay. Look back up at the user model. You can code on a VR headset. Okay, dope. That sounds cool. How is it? So everything's like aligned now. That's what the formatting did over here, right? Hope you're enjoying the video. Over 1,300 likes on TikTok. Thank you so much. What are you working on? I don't know if you're chatting between yourselves or if you're asking me, but I'm integrating Google Social Sign-On. Google Social Sign-On. Okay, and so last bit will be this session model. I'm moving the verification token model up with the model session. Okay, right next to the existing token. Single sign-on, basically, yeah. Basically, yeah. And I'll move the account after the user. After the role enum, anyway. Some semblance of alphabetical. It doesn't make sense. I'm not being logical. Sorry about that. Verification token can go after the token type. So these are sort of like the auth entities. Prisma has this Prisma fragment that you can do. I could like extract related entities to their own file, but I couldn't get it to work. Maybe I'll give it another pass in the future. And so this would be a grouping of the auth related entities is what I'm trying to accomplish here. Your user model is getting pretty large. I would think about putting sessions and auth separate info. Yeah, maybe. Hey, contributions are welcome. It's open source. Check out the website. Let me know. I could have like a profile entity. Sure. Bro, you're still working on auth. Why not use Clerk or Auth0? Check out the application and let me know how easy you think it is. So Clerk or Auth0, you have to integrate these into the app. Like you can't just like slap this on top. Yeah. The answer to your question is that would take just as much time. That's the answer to your question. That would take just as much time and it would require third-party licensed vendor lock-in. Why don't you just use Clerk, bro? Man, that's crazy. Okay, session token. Here's T3. User ID is already attached as an int. Cool. Expires. This is T3. And then I will try to cascade separately. I don't know if that's gonna, I don't want to drop my DB for a cascade. He has a point, you're kind of rolling your own auth. No, I'm using next auth. I'm not rolling my own auth. There's no sign in with Google. I'm checking your site right now. I know, we're trying to implement it. We're on a feature branch. I don't push directly to production. Is this all front end or nope? Like what we're doing right now is not front end. This is a Prisma schema. This is an ORM. Back end work right now. Using cookies and not storing sessions is cleaner. Yeah, like get out of town, dude. With the security issues and all the issues you're going to run into with cookies, try it. Let me know. Try it. Let me know how it goes for you. Laterally will not be using cookies. Okay, so we're still in Blitz. These are just formatting changes. Cool. GitHub default. No. Like you cannot push or pull code on GitHub with cookies. That doesn't work. Okay, so I think we're good to go. Let's Prisma generate. Let's try generating first, see how that goes. Cool, that works. Blitz, Prisma, migrate, dev. Blitz, Prisma, migrate, dev. I want it to tell me that I don't have to drop my database. Man, okay. Step 0, added the required column expires to the session table without a default. Okay, so it's like a backfill issue. We might be able to fix that. Create only to the migration file. So how would I backfill this? I could set expires. Really what I should do is I should union expires and expires at. Okay. So I could make a default that's like expired in the past. That could work. Yeah, I think I can make a default of expired in the past. So what's today's date? So default now, oh, yeah, maybe default to expires right now. Why not default it to expires right now? They'll be very detectable if there's a bug with that. People will like try to log in and it'll instantly log them out. I like that it's at least detectable. All right, let's try it again. Rahat, welcome on YouTube. He's doing this for fun. Is this for work? This is not for work. This is for the community. All right, step cannot be executed. Session token to the session without a default. So if I give it a default, it won't be unique anymore. Yeah, I can't make them unique. Got a bunch of active records on the session table as well. Okay, interesting. Laterally, do you think next auth is better in most cases? I don't know. That's really hard to say. Most cases, including commercial and personal cases, that's really hard to say. I think you're going to want to break down the use case. And I'll say it like this. This is the clearest advice I can get you. If you're using Next.js, NextAuth should be your default auth provider. Simple as that. Like a small type project, just use TRPC. It comes with NextAuth. Super easy. Can't default to a new GUID and have the default generate it. Yeah, we can do some backfill generation. I think that's basically what we need to do. What's today's date? This is going to log some people out. If we backfill the expire date, that's okay. We can log some people out. That's okay. Oh, I guess the default expiry is a month. Okay. Let's see some NeoVim. Nah. Just switch to Drizzle from Prisma. I'm enjoying it. Opinions? My opinion is that I'm doing a migration. I'm not trying to change my data from Prisma to Drizzle. That would be like way too much. Trying to keep this migration minimal. Fight scope creep. That's my opinion. Combat scope creep. Keep the main thing the main thing. Prioritize and ruthlessly burn scope creep. Other than that, I think Drizzle's fine. If you have like a greenfield project, it's fine. Default UUID for the session. For this session token right here? Okay. I like that idea. I like that idea. Okay, yeah, that's a good call. Shout out to I Love Fish Tacos. You know what? Believe it or not, some fish tacos sound kind of good right now. Okay, so we're going to default it to a UUID. If this fails, I can do what Prisma is recommending here, which is I do create only. It'll make a SQL file, and then I'll have to update the SQL file to include some backfill logic. But I would like to avoid that if possible. Okay, cool. Let's see if this works. The required column session token was added with a Prisma level default value. It's not possible to execute this step. Okay, so it doesn't want to backfill with UUID. I think we still do backfill with UUIDs. The other thing I can do, man, I can just purge this table. Let me try just the session table only. Let me try just purging it. All it's going to do is log people out, right? Okay, sorry, not sorry. I'm about to log some of y'all out. Is UUID a string? Yeah, it will be. This is so hacky. I love it. All right, no one log in. No one log in. I've cleared the table. This would not work at your Facebook or whatever. Oh, let's go. It's gonna work. Get it in quick before someone logs in. Dude, if you try to log in right now, I will find you. A unique constraint will be added. I'm okay with that. Oh crap. I just gave it an empty name. Whatever, it worked. All right, we're good. That was the world's worst database migration right there. That was awesome, dude. Wow, phenomenal. Phenomenal. All right, let me refresh my Supabase view over here. I got a new table there. Got the account table. Session table now has the session token. Let's see if I can go log in to prod, or if I just broke prod. I bet I can log in. It's just gonna log people out. It's like not gonna oh no! Invalid Prisma create null constraint on the field session token. So, I gave it a default.
Okay, John, go ahead.
All right, thanks.
It's 4 bags.
All right, so let's try to patch it to make that optional. Optional session token. Cool. And that's why this is not allowed at Google. I just broke prod for, I don't know, a couple minutes. Let's see if it's back now. Thanks for the follow. Oh, you don't want to remember my password for me? Okay, nice. All right, so it was only down for like 2 or 3 minutes, which again, for Laterally, that represents like a cost basis of 0 delta. That's fine. Have you worked at a big company before? Yeah, I've worked for companies, you know, like Capital One and Amazon. Some others you may not know, like Upstart and the College Board, but still good companies. A little bit slightly lesser known, but still great companies. You don't have a CS degree, right? That's correct. I have a PhD in econ, self-taught programmer. Okay, so, and then if I go over here and refresh my table, there's the session. And the session token is null. Why is it null? Is this expression like incorrect? Let's ask Claude. I have a Prisma statement like, but, oh, because the Prisma level is the default, not the database level. So it's not defaulted in Postgres, it's defaulted in the business logic layer. And okay, and I haven't shipped my feature branch to prod. I think that's why. Let's confirm with Claude. I have a Prisma statement like this, but my production account is writing records with a null. Yeah, I would have thought that this would have implemented some kind of constraint on Postgres, but it's not doing it that way. The database is not in sync with the Prisma schema. That's it. Yep, that's exactly what it is. So I would need to update my Prisma schema in production, which would require a code change, basically. Did the lack of CS degree hinder you from getting jobs? Maybe. I mean, I've gotten plenty of jobs. And like my outcomes are better than the industry average. But if I had a CS degree, would they be even better? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how to run a comparison on that. I noticed myself hitting the token limit with Claude really fast. Yeah, I have Claude and GPT-4 for that reason, in case I get rate limited. All right, so we have this schema up to date over here, right? And so this is going to be feet next auth schema compliance. I'll push that. And now I want to take this schema literal over to T3. And here's a session block I don't need. We'll get rid of that. Oh, let's try to do the cascading thing. Let's try to do this cascading thing. Blitz Prisma migrate dev. Nice. So we want to cascade delete session records when the user is deleted, something like that. Field references on delete cascade. Yeah, I think this says, here, we'll confirm. I think this says when the user's deleted, delete all their sessions. Yeah, cool. When the user's deleted, delete the sessions. Cascade delete sessions, session records. Sessions on user delete. Cool. So we'll push that. And now what I want to do is go over to the T3 app. I want to rip this schema literally, bam, literally, bam. And here, I want to npx Prisma generate. Start by importing your Prisma schema. Cool. So I'm going to stage this. And what do I want to do? I want T3 to be aware of all the migrations that have been run. I want T3 to be aware of all the migrations that have been run. So here, I need to get my migration folder and bring it over. Really, I can just bring, like, why not the content of the whole thing? So Prisma, yeah. Migrations, seed utils, checklist JSON, we'll bring the whole thing over. I don't know that I need that index file. I'll leave that out. But I'll bring the seeds over as well. Schema prisma.copy. What? So this will be a move. This is the first literal migration, isn't it? I'm actually going to, no, I'll duplicate so that the old app can still be run properly will be the idea. Okay. And so here, this is chore MV migrations to T3. Oh no, it can't find the things. What is it? What is it mad about? Let me try over here. It's mad about ESM. Yeah, this thing again. What is this thing doing, man? So Blitz Prettier is trying to format the whole repo. Is that what's going on? How old are you, and what tips would you give for someone young trying to get into the industry? So I'm like 34. I turn 35 later this year. Tips I would give to someone young trying to get into the industry: build projects, social network. Build projects, social network, and get a valuable credential. And sign up at Ladderly.io. That's basically it. That's basically it. And then when it comes to, and the other one is that the job search is its own skill set besides coding. So you need to learn to code, and then you need to learn how to interview. And so totally you should expect at least 6 months, on this, probably more than that, unless you're like super smart. But like, even if you're super smart, at least 6 months. A valid credential. Yeah, a valuable credential. You could call it valid if you want, but it's not like a light switch that's on or off, valid or invalid. Value occurs on a spectrum. So some credentials are more valuable than others, right? So think about like a boot camp and a college degree. Some colleges are better than others. Some boot camps are better than others. Stay away from the crappy ones. That's what I'm advising you. Stay away from the crappy ones. And if you want to know how to distinguish them, join Ladderly. The prestige rule is published on the website. Are you looking for a mobile developer? I am not. I mean, let's see. Yeah, feel free to make a mobile app. That would be pretty cool. But I'm not like paying. Why not? So with open source, I don't know if you're asking about my company or open source, but with open source, what happens is you have a lot of drop-in contributors who will submit a pull request and then they won't own the project. So there's an ownership problem. And so can you just imagine the headache if someone else dropped a mobile app on me and then I'm supposed to maintain it? Like, no, thank you. I'd rather just not have one. You see the problem there? But a website, which I do maintain, it works on mobile already. So it's like a mobile friendly website. So the marginal value of a true native mobile app is small for me. What would be the best places to network? Well, the first thing you should do is join Ladderly, as I mentioned. Join the Discord, come chat. LinkedIn is a huge one. And Taro is another place that I like. Join taro.com. It's like $30 a month, but I think it's well worth it. I think with those under your belt, and then you can, just join Ladderly. Ladderly has networking guidance, okay? So there's the endorsed communities, and this will give you access to like networks of hundreds of thousands of people. You're gonna be good. Like, just join Ladderly and get active. Thanks for the likes. Over 1,400, right on. So, orienting myself, thanks, very, very welcome. Thanks for the question. So orienting myself over here, right. Instead, change the require of pretty.js. This is so weird. I'm migrating from Blitz.js to T3 in a monorepo. And I think the Blitz Prettier config is trying to scan T3 pages. How can I resolve this? I'll give this a whole 5 minutes and then I'm just going to skip Husky. A dashboard for your backend would help. Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be cool. I think admin pages will be an upcoming feature. I've mostly avoided it. You always run into security issues with stuff like that. And so it's one easy solution is just don't build them. But yeah, I think there's a feature called community tagging, which is like a couple months out. But when we get there, it will require admin pages. Thanks so much for the likes. Interesting. Okay. Thanks for the rose. So let's see if this Husky alteration works. Right on. Heart me. Thank you. Thank you. So what's the diff here? We're just saying that we want to use different configuration files for different repos, right? No files matching the pattern were found. What does that mean? I wouldn't drop an app on you. I have 3 apps I'm maintaining right now. Dope. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's totally open source. You're absolutely. I would love to see. I would love to see whatever you're thinking about. The other thing with mobile is like getting to the app store, right? Can you do it? Can you do like a true open source on the app store? I'm not sure. I guess you can publish as an individual, right? Thanks for the follow. All matched files use prettier code style. No files matching the pattern were found. Over 2,000 likes, right on. Are these logs useful or should I silence them? You don't need an LLC or an EIN. Cool. Yeah. More so what I was thinking about is if you have multiple collaborators on a project, then one of them has to own publishing to the App Store, right? Or you're going to have like 3 different people publishing. I don't know. I don't really know how that works. My migrations are still here, right? I don't know. I think I'll look into that later. This is good enough for me. This is good enough for me. Pre-commit script failed. Laterally Prisma seed votables TS. Prisma seed utils votables.json. It's telling me that it's not finding things that totally exist. Okay. All right, last try, and then I'm just going to ignore Husky if this doesn't work. So what did it change here? Let's see. It wants to use running prettier for this, git add. Yeah, no, this is awful. Illegal path option. Okay, this is not working. So I'm going to undo this, undo this, and I'm going to no verify it. Okay, so what we've done now is we've made T3 aware of the current data model. CD laterally IO, npx Prisma generate, npx Prisma migrate dev. Everything's already in sync, right? I'm sharing your website right now. Thank you so much. All right, everything's already in sync. So the T3 app is now aware of the database. That only took us an hour and 15 minutes. Golly. Let me make a note on this PR that Husky is basically broken for the T3 side and possibly for the other side. To a friend who wants to learn to code, hope you're ready for customers. Yeah, I mean, I've had customers. And we've had some success stories. So besides myself, gotten a few other people jobs this year. Love to talk to them. Over 3,300 likes. Y'all rock. Thank you so much, Ryan. Okay. Also, if you want to teach on the platform, let me know. That's another thing you could do. So if you're a mobile developer, that would be like a curriculum that we can add. So most of the curriculum is full stack TypeScript. I'm thinking about adding Python and C#. Mobile would be cool as well. What do you think about data analyst boot camps? Some are good, some are bad. That's the answer. So make sure you follow the prestige rule. Go to coursereport.com, find a boot camp with a rating of 4.25 or higher and a minimum of 400 reviews. Don't take anything that's less than 3 months. Just don't do it. Even full-time, don't do it. That's my strong recommendation. So 3 to 6 months for full-time. Employers perceive this to be ideal. And then you can do longer if it's part-time, but you shouldn't do shorter. Someone said your link looks scary. What does that mean? What does that mean? All right. Localhost, GitHub, localhost. What's scary about this? I don't know. I've heard boot camps are less respected than a degree. Is that true? The average boot camp is less prestigious than the average degree. This is true. Do not pick, I'm going to repeat this till the day I die, apparently. Do not go to a random or average boot camp. You need to only go to a high quality boot camp or don't go to a boot camp at all. A low quality boot camp will actually, it's like a trap. It's going to cost you a bunch of money. It's not going to get you a job. A low quality boot camp is like, stay away from it. Like, think about it like food, right? A low quality boot camp is not cheap food. A low quality boot camp is spoiled food. Like, don't eat it, okay? It's my 2 cents. Hashtag triggered, sorry. Yeah, and feel free to book a one-on-one call. You can go to laterally.io. If you're looking at wrong L, sorry. If you're looking at a particular boot camp and you're like, man, I don't know if I should trust this one, just book a call. I'll review it with you. There's like very like research-based methods, and I've created some of the cutting-edge research on this, of what counts as like a good boot camp and why or why not, how to evaluate the return on investment, probability of getting a job. This is my wheelhouse, dude. Like, I have a PhD in this stuff. So hook it up. Where are you from? Originally Austin. Currently I'm living around DC, Northern Virginia. How about you? Okay, so the database is aligned, so let's try to log in. Dun, dun, dun. Actually, I'm going to call the stream whether or not this works. We'll try again later. Obviously, if it doesn't work, we'll try again later. But this has been, we've been on here a while. Alexandria, let's go. Alexandria represent. Alexandria is chill, y'all. Sign in with Discord. Wants to authorize it. Sure, you can authorize it. To confirm your identity, sign in with the same account you used originally. To confirm your identity. Interesting. Interesting. I think this is because I already have a login with that email. All right, I'm going to go wipe my own user record in the database. I think I have 2 emails in here, I think. So I'm looking in Supabase on my other screen. It's because you have 2 emails. I got the same error. Okay, dope. Chat is hooking it up. Let's go. This is what community is about, gang. Are you familiar with the Dallas SMU Data Analyst Bootcamp? No, not immediately, although I'm familiar with Dallas SMU. It's a decent school. But what you would want to do is, I already said the rule. I'll repeat it. I don't know if you're on the stream. You go to coursereport.com, you browse all schools, and you go for a school with a rating. You sort by most reviewed, go 400 reviews or more, 4.25 rating or higher. Okay? So Dallas SMU, I don't know. Let's find it. Is it Dallas Coding Academy? A lot of the university affiliated boot camps are not listed on Course Report. Okay, yeah. So here's the problem you're going to see here. So it looks like the curriculum is solid, but it doesn't have a lot of employer name recognition. And they don't have a job guarantee. They offer job assistance. How effective is it? I don't know. So reach out to them and ask them if they can give you concrete result data on placement rates. The other thing you can do is you can look at SIR. Although SIR is kind of bought and sold now, so I'm kind of, it's not based anymore. But if SMU is mentioned here, SMU, it's not going to be mentioned here, right? Yeah, no. Okay. It's risky. It's risky, dude. So SMU boot camps, it looks like the curriculum is solid, but it's risky because, again, learning to code doesn't give you a job. You need to have employer name recognized certificate. You need to be confident that the career services at the boot camp are going to work. They have career services. How high quality are they? I don't know. Are they third party audited? I don't know. Ask questions like this. 24 weeks, the time range is a green flag. Oh, this is part-time. No. I could go either way on that. Yeah, it's fine. It's defensible. I want to see a full-time one. Full-time is 12 weeks. That's good, but 20 hours is their full-time. Like, is it really full-time? It's defensible. It's kind of borderline, dude. I'm going to say there's better options out there. You know, no shade to Dallas SMU. Like, I respect the school. Reach out if you want a consult on how to improve your program and improve your marketability of your program. It seems like the curriculum is already solid, but there's other things that you need to do to convince the world that they should go here and not somewhere else. There's just better choices. Okay, that's going to be my final advice for now. There's just better options as a data analyst. I recommend a CS degree. Again, don't get a random or median or average CS degree, and definitely don't go to a below average school. But if you go to above average school, CS degree is a fantastic investment. Absolutely. STEM in general is great. But prestige matters in STEM. So you'll often hear, oh, I got a STEM degree. The return to STEM degrees is good, right? Yes, but there's still a distribution within the issuers of STEM degrees. So find a high quality school. And here's what I can tell you. A high quality boot camp beats a low quality school. And that's not heuristic. I have like hard data proving this. In terms of hireability and value perception in the eyes of employers, a high quality boot camp beats a low quality accredited university. But yeah, a high quality accredited university takes the cake, doesn't it? It's just a bit expensive. So Princeton, MIT, Stanford, turn up. Let's go. I hope you got a scholarship. I hope you got a scholarship. And in that evaluation of ranking, I'm ranking based on the propensity to hire, not the return on investment. And that's really, really crucial that you understand the difference there. Nobody understands the difference. The economic literacy in this country is terrible. Harvard may be more prestigious and a higher propensity to get the job, but it's so costly that the return may well be worse than a high quality boot camp. So think long and hard. Don't be one of these people that says, oh, I got into Harvard. I didn't get a scholarship, but it's Harvard. So I'm just going to spam the debt. That's a really dangerous thing to do. Really dangerous thing to do. Think twice. University, like a in-state university, without a scholarship, maybe you can make the case. Definitely if you go to community college, you do a couple years and then finish out university. That's what I did for my undergrad. So I did 2 years at Austin Community College, 2 years at University of Houston. And I think my debt load was absolutely tolerable. You can also work while you go to school. So Walmart, I think McDonald's and Taco Bell, some other chains like this will offer tuition assistance up to 100%. So Walmart will just totally pay for you to go to school. But their program doesn't support Harvard. And you ask why? Because Harvard's expensive. That's the reason why. So figure out where's the better ROI. The answer is obvious. Going to university for free at a state school is better than going to Harvard on a truckload of student debt. Chipotle does as well. You gotta love Chipotle, man. Even the food is so good, man. I'm getting hungry. Okay, let me try to sign in here. So I was gonna purge my personal record. Now I'm getting hungry, dude. What motivated you to be in the field you're in? I was a DC political consultant and my quality of life was trash, but I learned some technical skills like data analysis and programming. And I said, let me give it a shot because it doesn't seem like, based on the industry data that I can see about quality of life, working remotely, career trajectory, pay, like all the things, it seems like one of those jobs would be better than what I'm doing now. So I dove in, I tried doing career switching, and I have not looked back. It was absolutely a great choice for me. And that motivated me so much to share it with other people. That's one of the reasons I founded Laterally, is like, let's help get more people in tech. So I want to go by email and sort it. Sure they do, but you got to work there 10 years. Do you? I don't think so. I think, okay, I don't know if you're talking about Chipotle or whatever, but I worked at Walmart back in the day. Unless they changed it, maybe they changed it. But I think you can work there 6 months or less and start taking advantage of that benefit. I mean, you can ask if you're interviewing there, just ask them, right? Okay, so here's my record. Let me make sure I don't drop the whole user DB. That would be terrible. Unable to delete rows as one of them is currently referenced by a foreign key on the subscription. Yeah. Yep. So I'll need to do like a cascade delete. Believe it or not, this is kind of a green flag. I know it seems like we've gotten nowhere in an hour and an hour and a half, but actually if the only blocker is the edge case of duplicate email, this is going to be fine. And there are multiple ways to solve all these problems. So I'm trying to drop this record as like a quick fix, but in theory, T3 should be able to work around this. If it's like the email already exists, okay, so associate it to Discord. You know, that shouldn't be difficult, but I'll need to do extra code that I haven't done. So what's the user ID? Okay, now I'm looking up on the subscription table for this user ID. Deleting is successful. Okay, so we'll backtrack to the user table. Oh, programming. Yeah, this is like all backend. It's like all backend stuff. If you don't know what backend development is, a lot of it is this like database work. Bam. Okay, successfully deleted the user record. Do it again. Yay, where was it?
The couch.
Of course. Thank you. You're the best. Y'all, get you a wifey like that. She's crazy. Did I delete the wrong one? Which email is my Discord using? Now I'm questioning everything. Oh, dude. All right, let me cancel this. I have one other theory. It's not using my Latterly email, that's for sure. But I do have another alt. Okay, yeah, the alt's in here too. I just like want to be so careful I'm not deleting someone else's record. If I delete your account, I'm so sorry. It was not rage or anything. If I delete it today, that is. Another day, who knows? So here's the ID. Here's the ID, subscription table. Mapping to the user ID. Drop row. Succeeded, cool. Now we have the dangling user. Backtrack to the user. Found the record again. No associated subscription. Okay, so I dropped the right one. And this one has a user checklist item. Okay. Do I have a script for this? I need to drop some user checklist items. I can just go select them all, but I feel like I have a script for this. So in the scripts directory, delete unused checklist items, delete unused checklist, delete user. Let me try to do this delete user. And what are the args? It wants the user ID and the email. Oh no, it wants either of them. Okay, so admin scripts for the win. So node scripts, delete user. Okay, and here's one of my, I'm not gonna tell you the whole thing. Okay, you don't get to know my alt email, sorry, but you have a hint about it, so. Yay, it worked. Okay, so deleted user checklist items, deleted all the things. And you do, so that was my former user ID 12. If you weren't in tech, what other path would you have gone? I'd probably be either an economist or a professor of economics. Economics is dope, y'all. Economics is like actually valid. There's a small chance I would have gone into finance as well, to be honest with you. because I'm very focused on applied economics over theoretical economics. And I believe the main application of economics is that we should participate in technology. If you're familiar with what is it, Kaldor-Higgs? No, not Kaldor-Higgs. It's not this one. I'm mixing things up. Kaldor-Higgs efficiency is not what I'm looking for. Technology multiplied by labor and whoa, I've been away from this for far too long. Labor augmented capital equation. Are we going to get on a rabbit trail about economics? I hope not. There's a big A in this equation. Let's ask ChatGPT, the tip of the tongue problem. It's actually really good at solving this. Okay, I'm trying to think of an important equation in fundamentals of macroeconomics, which models that labor is augmented by capital, and also that technical change has no diminishing return. Cobb-Douglas. ChatGPT, let's go. Yeah, this is the Cobb-Douglas equation. Dude, I feel like wow, that's like 101 and I couldn't remember it. I think I'm going to tell myself and cope that I was just occupied with other things. So the A here, the A does not have an exponent. It's a linear factor, unlike L and K. So L for labor, K for capital. Labor augmented capital is like, I am more productive when I use a shovel than when I dig with my bare hands, right? But you give me all the shovels in the world, it's not going to help me more. Like 1 shovel, great. 2 shovels, maybe. Like what am I going to do with 10 shovels? So labor augmenting capital. So technology is unique in that it doesn't have diminishing returns. Like it just keeps going up. Technology just keeps getting better in the long arch of economic history. Yeah, sure, you'll have like weird things like a war where they like blew up the innovation in Rome or whatever. But in the long arch of history, it's not subject to diminishing marginal returns, which means that from an industrial perspective, it has an outsized potential benefit. And this is one of the reasons that it's so attractive to investors, of course, but it's also one of the reasons that we should be excited about it as employees. Ooh, wow, this is going to really start some flame wars. I'll leave it at that. If I go into the deeper reasons why, people are going to get pissy about trickle-down economics, and I don't want to have that debate. But we can just see that it's attractive for investors. And maybe you'll buy the idea that if more investment capital is going in, then there's more wages to be paid. Maybe we can go about it that way. So investing in technology is always a good thing economically. Yes, in the long run. Yes, in the long run. And remember that we're talking about technology broadly here. So this would be, if you're looking at the stock market, this is not investment advice, but you would be considering a basket of technology stocks, not a particular stock. This does not mean every bro who invents something is right, okay? But I will tell you, personally, I'm heavily invested in TQQQ, which is a margin on the NASDAQ. So it's like a multiplied NASDAQ. So that's what I'm personally heavily invested in. Real estate's cool too, totally different reasons. Again, this is not investment advice, just sharing you some of my thought process. Okay. So if I refresh my table, the user should be gone. Yep, user's gone. Okay, and so now I want to try this sign-in process. I need to start my server again. I love taking an intro economics class in undergrad. It's really great. It teaches you to think better. If you can go, so economics 101 is going to be a game changer. If you can get your brain around marginal thinking, maybe this is the 101 or the 202 level and the macro micro distinction, that's another game changer. And then if you can get into econometrics and understand the statistical financial model of thinking and counterfactual thinking and probabilistic thinking, your brain's going to be so big. You're going to have to tie the back of your head to make sure that you're, I don't know. Being able to think in econometric terms is really, 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 really valuable. And it's something that engineers often fail to do. Engineers often have like a tree-based mental model where like you're debugging something. Oh, it's not that, it must be this kind of process of elimination, which is good. It's critical thinking. It's a form of critical thinking. But if you think that this logical structure of tree-based thinking or deductive thinking is the entirety of critical thinking, and you have not really taken seriously probabilistic thinking, it's a huge gap that a lot of engineers have. And even the philosophers will tell you. So yes, you think you're very sophisticated with formal proofs, right? I have this formal tree-based proof or this formal deductive proof. But even the cutting-edge philosophers are going to tell you, we're all about probabilistic thinking these days and like Bayesian thinking. Particularly anyone trying to do anything applied, because you just have to put probabilities on these things in the real world. What a great tangent. Okay, let's return to something code related. Here we are. We have refreshed the server. We are on this glorious T3 homepage. Nope, that's the wrong one. So I'm in the wrong prong of the monorepo. Eh? cd // latterly tab to complete npm run dev. Refresh. Bro, why? Why is it mad? What does NPM stand for? Node Package Manager. Argument handle is missing. Prisma session create. Okay, interesting. Error redacted. A query that was dehydrated as pending ended up rejecting. What a bummer, dude. I'm going to take this dump over to Claude. Bam, 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 bam. I'm trying to implement sign in with Discord in the T3 stack. Notably, I have changed the data model to use int ID instead of string ID and a few other changes. Can you help me figure out what's going wrong in the below error logs? What does NPM stand for? Node Package Manager. It appears that the main issue is related to a mismatch between your Prisma schema and the next auth adapter expectations. Okay, so it's mad that the handle is a string. Remove the handle field from the session model if it's present. I do have a handle. Why do I have a handle? Is that something Blitz is using? I do have a handle. Yeah, okay, so the handle is used by Blitz. Here is my session model. The handle is used by Blitz authentication. My app is in the process of migration from Blitz.js to T3 stack. Is there a way to have next auth ignore the undesired fields for now, as opposed to updating the database schema? The answer is yes. It should tell me yes. Absolutely, next auth can purge undesired fields. Use Anthropic projects and give it your code base during using NPX AI Digest. What's up, Bryce? Thanks for the tips. I'm not going to be doing that right now. It's an interesting thought. Yeah, maybe I'll give that a try sometime in the future. Okay. Here's an approach you can take. Create a custom Prisma adapter for next auth that maps the fields. This custom adapter maps the next auth session, create a creation to your current schema. I'm not building out websites and apps alone. Too much work. Facts. I agree with that. This approach allows you to use next auth. Ooh, renaming fields to match. Dope. Let's go. So how do I plug this guy in? So here's an adapter. And then, okay, it wants it next to the next auth. Export default next auth. Cool. Well, at the top of the video, I told you that T3 does a great job with portability. And I wasn't sure if we were going to have a chance to look at the glue code, because a lot of T3 is just glue code, but it looks like we're going to have a chance. So we get in here, we get TRPC. Next auth. Got next auth in a few projects. I'm trying to look for this one. Here we go. Here we go. All right, so this is the main, like, look how simple this is. And do you see how it's modular? So the T3 stuff is quarantined to this auth options file. Isn't that great? I think it's great. So this is kind of like the core of some of T3's magic. Not the only place, but one of a few. So here's the Prisma adapter.
Ellen, get out of there. Okay, why am I talking to a wall? Go up to your room.
So here's the Prisma adapter. Export default next auth. So these are the options we're looking at, by the way. And then here's the providers. Providers is right here. So how do they hook in this custom adapter? Okay. All right. So I want to know if I am already using this. Should I add multiple adapters or replace that one with my own? Who's mad in the background? Yeah, I think my daughter is making my wife mad. Okay. Okay, cool. So that's the key change that we need. I like look, this is a modular clean change. If the way to migrate from Blitz to T3 and then the way to temporarily allow dual support is through a custom adapter, that's like a super modular solution. I love it. So I'll call this laterally migration adapter. Are you still employed or are you fully invested in the project? I'm still employed. This is like a side thing. This is like a side thing. Make an issue to remove after prod is working on T3 for a month or so. Okay. I'm going to call the stream there. This has been a good couple hours. Want to keep these streams relatively small. Streams that are too long, no one watches all the way to the end. Even 2 hours is too long, frankly. We made really substantial progress. Obviously, we didn't get all the way to sign in working, but I think we have a clear path, which is next stream. Please join. I hope to see you there. And we will build a custom NextAuth adapter. Sounds like an interesting technical project to me. Thanks for being here. Got over 3,400 likes. Appreciate